Hey, this is Glenn. Welcome to another episode of Difficult Questions. This one is on medical privacy. I had a family member just recently, and they went to the hospital. And I called them, and they said to me, hey, these are my final goodbyes. Don't come visit. And I kind of freaked out because I'm close to this person. And I have a social media personal Facebook page, and it's private. But there are people that I've met throughout my life that are on there. And I posted that and how it was kind of freaking me out. I was being philosophical about it as I am in difficult questions. And my other family members got really mad that I was sharing this about this other person. And it got me thinking about medical privacy. Who is private to what, when, why, and how? All of that, the interplay, because if we are social animals, if we care about other people and exist around other people, what are those kind of privacy options? But then again, if it's all personal, how is it personal from you to you, and what do you share? For example, what it made me realize is I have kind of maybe a different viewpoint about this. I had this professor in junior college. He was a technical director, so he was doing a lot of shop kind of stuff. And he came to us during our orientation the first day. He said, just so you know, I'm HIV positive. So if I get cut, just let me bleed out. Don't come help me. And I thought, what? This is kind of the AIDS era, the HIV positive era. We're still figuring out how to deal with it and people with it. And this is on the forefront of our minds. And he just, first time meeting him, says, hey, let me die. And I just thought, I can't let you die, man. Are there gloves somewhere? Right? But I think that in medical privacy, we always worry about, one, what people are going to think of us. Two, if it's going to affect our ability to get a job. Three, if it's going to affect our ability to be insured. And I think those are the three main problems we have with letting people know about medical privacy. And part of the thing I like about the new world of inclusivity and having diversity is people with medical conditions become diversity hires. So I see people on Twitter that are very proud that they have autism. And I don't know if I'd call autism a medical condition. I don't know if that's offensive to somebody, but that, for example, so now people are kind of wearing their diagnoses as a badge of honor, and that's maybe a magic key for them to get a job. And I love that interplay of, well, wait, that's private, but maybe it can help me get a job, so maybe it's not private. And yes, it should come from the decision of the person, whether they want to share it, but share with who, when. I mean, the person, my family member, shared with me that he was going to die. So do I not get to share that? Because he didn't tell me, don't tell anybody else. And now, even with this, my family's so mad at me that I said I wouldn't talk about them. And so now I'm creating this intrigue, not like you care about my family members, but if you did, if I were a celebrity and you had buy-in to me, now, who's he talking about, right? Instead of just laying it all out there and saying, like my professor did, hey, I'm HIV positive. That doesn't mean I can't do my job, But that does mean that if I get cut, you're in danger, so don't come help me. And that's kind of an amazing, powerful stance to take. And I realized I kind of followed that. In the 90s, in the early 90s, Howard Stern was becoming big, and he did a 2020 interview. And I remember this. He said, if I'm embarrassed about something, I put it out there and let everybody know, and then I'm not embarrassed about it anymore. And I thought, that's how I want to live my life. So that's how I live my life, to some people's chagrin. Glenn, don't talk about this. Glenn, you don't need to talk about this. Why are you talking about this? But really, if we are social animals, maybe my job is to make the sacrifice to let you know what's going on in my life, so then you can learn from that, because privacy stops any opportunity from anybody around you to be making informed decisions. And there are people out there that would say, hey, don't let this family member, don't let people know that they're sick, because then other people could take advantage of them. Yes, there are predators out there that prey on weak people. And when do we stop that flow of information for being suspect? When do we protect as opposed to share? And then the people that want to know, why do they want to know? Is it the rubbernecking thing, like we're driving by a car accident because we live vicariously through people's intrigue and through people's trauma and drama? Or do we need to know? And what is need to know? Need to know because you are a medical professional and you need to know how to act on this, or need to know because you are a family member and you care about that person? Which need to know is it? And when is it just interest, and when does it affect you? I know a lot of people in entertainment loved Robin Williams as a person, and he was a public person, and arguably a very public person, so you could argue that he doesn't get privacy. But some people would say no, he still gets medical privacy. And then when he committed suicide, people want to know why and what happened, and they were affected by that because they loved that man and they loved what he stood for and how kind and gentle he was and how he tried to help people around him and used his fame for good. And now it affected them emotionally that his life ended, and they want to know how it happened and why it happened. And for a long time, the family was, hey, we don't need to tell you. But I think now it's out that he had Lewy body syndrome, and so that's why he just decided to end his life, because he didn't want to live life with that, and it was depressing him. And that's all good stuff to know, because now he's kind of an inspiration and a talking point for people. But originally it was this privacy thing. And then we talk about people sharing too much and sharing to become famous or sharing to be in the public spotlight. And I look at that criticism and I think, well, sometimes we just criticize to criticize, because if you want to share it or if you don't, there's something positive out of both of those things. And I think if you're a public person, you want to share your journey. That's just part of you being a public person. I don't necessarily know that it is calculated to remain in the public eye. But then again, how else do you make money if you're a public person? You get people to buy your stuff. This is capitalism. There's medical professionals make money off of your illness. Why shouldn't you? And also in that, the whole idea of medical privacy, we are heavily insured in this country. You need to be able to make enough money to get the insurance to take care of your health, or you just need to make enough money to take care of your health. And then you can afford privacy if you want. But if you need help with money paying for your medical bills, well, then you have to share your journey. And we see that a lot with people starting Patreons or people starting GoFundMe accounts. Hey, I have cancer. Can you help me with my journey? And then they share. Well, do they get judged as people that are trying to profit off of their illness, or are they just trying to survive? And then is it okay to just ask for money? Hey, I'm sick. I'll share my journey. Please donate. Or is it not okay to turn that into a profit thing where, hey, I'm selling shirts, so now I'm going to sell a good and turn that into an economic structure. So instead of just donating, you're actually getting something. That's commerce. Is that bad in medical privacy? Because again, medical professionals get paid and journalists get paid. Everyone has to get paid. So why shouldn't the person with the medical condition get paid too? That's how we function in the society. You have to get paid unless you have family and community that can help you out for free, which is kind of this expectation, but not necessarily a reality. We don't really talk about that much. So what is the line for privacy? When do you get to talk about your own health or someone else's health that's close to you? And what if you don't have their explicit permission? But what if you do? My family member is going through some problems with cognitive ability. And the argument was, even though this person said you could share, he's not in a position to be able to honor that permission. And I think, okay, but then who decides? And why do they get to decide? If this person tells me something, they told me, I think that's admissible in a court of law. This person told me this. And then someone else gets to decide whether I can tell people what this person told me. I don't agree with that. And then my family gets all mad. So my whole goal as a storyteller, and I love storytelling and I love using my experience to kind of share with people so then they can possibly make decisions about their life. I've noticed that I can't have people in my life that enjoy their privacy. Sure, people can tell me things in confidence, but they have to tell me, hey, this is in confidence. Please don't share this. Because I'll anonymize your experience, but I think it's important to share with the rest of the world. I'm just kind of that shareable person. So what I've noticed is I've had to isolate myself away from people that may want their privacy. Because for me, all life is a learning experience. And I'm not successfully monetizing that now. I don't know if it will change if and when I ever do. I don't know if people can criticize me for doing this for free. My dad once said, what, do you want to be famous? And I said, well, if visibility helps me make money, because we have to make money in this country, then yes. But it's not fame for being fame. I think people that share their experiences, even for medical conditions, I don't know their motivations, but you can always learn from that. I don't know. What do you think? What is medical privacy? Who gets to decide what medical privacy is for who and when? Thanks.